Good evening, everyone, and I'm here with Steven. We're going to adjust the stop back motion knob and put on a new belt. I realized that we hadn't done much video blogging of the 57, so I'm just gonna show. Yeah, you can turn on the light. It has cleaned up beautifully, and we're really happy about it. So I'm going to go ahead and let Steven start talking about the next step, and then hopefully we'll be able to get this one up and running and stitching here soon.
So first off, whenever you take off the stop back motion knob and you clean the shaft, the first thing you want to do is put a couple drops of oil. Then you'll take the belt on the knob, slide it back on. Then you'll take your, I don't know what it's called, and usually they don't look like this. Usually the inside prongs are bowed up in one direction, and the direction they're bowed up, you want it facing you.
And just to note, that's not an aftermarket part. That's actually the first type of, I guess you could call it a washer, that we have seen like that, but it is a Singer part. So maybe they just put it on just a few of them, maybe they're on older models, but we've had, this is really our first 50 style featherweight that we've worked on, so there's quite a good possibility that it might just have been something they engineered later on.
One thing you always want is when you tighten this screw, it'll lock it in place, which allows you to disengage and re-engage. And if you can get up in there, you can see that I've installed the washer backwards. See how close that nub is back behind there to the screw? It will not loosen. So I got to take the knob back off and flip the washer upside down. And now, as you can see, this screw will not contact this pin, and when we rotate it this direction, it gives us a lot of distance to travel, which will allow us to wind a bobbin.
Which will be the next step that we'll take on the 57, which will be winding the bobbin.
And when tightening this screw, you don't have to over crank it, because the main thing that stops the motion is not how tight you get the screw, but it's the end of the screw sticking through when it's fully seated. So as it stands now,
we're going to adjust the belt because the belt is definitely a little bit on the tighter side. This is the first time that we have actually turned this machine over.
So first thing you notice your machine is running slower is to readjust your belt.
And there are some screwdrivers that have like the plastic on them to help protect them from not doing something, or not cracking or hitting the paint, but we're just careful. We need to get some special tools for sure.
We wing it. When adjusting this, loosen this screw a little, raise the motor all the way up. Now when you push the pedal, the shaft will spin, but the belt won't always. So what you want to do is, holding the pedal down, you're going to lower the motor until the needle shaft is rotating at the same speed as the motor. And it helps if you engage the knob. And once you get what you think is a good speed, just retighten the screw. And after you retighten it, you always want to check it again, because sometimes tightening it will raise the motor or lower the motor, and it will not give you what you want. And you'll want to test it going slow and fast, because sometimes it'll get hung up on the belt when it's going slow and it won't move the needle. And sometimes if you go fast all of a sudden, the shaft will just spin and it won't drive the belt either. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but the shaft and the needle holder are moving at the same time, and whether you go fast or slow, it does not slip.
Cool.
That's about it.
So we'll keep you all updated.